Hi, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. This is Charlotte Bergman. I'm glad you've joined me. My guest hasn't arrived, but we're going to go on and have the show anyway. I hope you guys are having a great time out there. It is getting exciting. Uh-oh, it looks like my guest has joined me. Look at here. So we're going to give him a few moments. There he is. There is our guest, our chairman. Look at him. I always tell him he looks like Elvis. I'm not sure he responds very much to that. Look at you. Yes, we got sound too. So glad you're here.
We got sound and we're alive and well.
Thank you. And it looks like you're on the go. I appreciate you joining us because we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about today. This election is heating up, and I don't know how many of the numbers you have looked at, Chairman, but it is exciting. We got Scott already responding. Let me find out what Scott is saying. Oh, well, thank you, Scott. Scott said he's voting today, and that's what our chairman needs to hear. Chairman, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, we see the momentum. When you look at the numbers, the last couple of weeks, Republican voting is up. We are up. And so that is exciting. And we have to finish strong this Thursday. So early voting wraps this Thursday, November the 3rd. And then we back up and get ready for Election Day, November the 8th. Bottom line, we say it all the time, Charlotte, signs do not vote. Checks do not vote. People vote. And
thank you, Chairman, for saying that, because apparently my enemies don't understand that signs do not vote because they've been stealing my signs, hundreds of signs.
Well, if they have gotten to the point where they've got to steal signs, then that says they're desperate, right? They're desperate. But you know as well as I do, we just need our people to go and vote. We don't even need people to pontificate. We just need people to get in the vehicle, travel to the site, and vote for Charlotte Bergman. I mean, that's how we win elections. And so I just want to remind people to keep it simple this year and really don't wait till Tuesday, November 8th. Go today through Thursday, early voting. The lines will not take long, and cast your vote for the state and federal races. This is our year. And, you know, nationally, we're about to take back the House and take back the Senate.
Woo-hoo. As a matter of fact, now that you've mentioned that, I want to let my friends know and see a graph that is available that they can actually see that we are making progress. Hold on for a second. Let me pull this up because this screen is really great. It's a good screen worth showing. Give me a second. Okay, according to Fox News, here's our graph. If you can see this graph, I want you to know that we are looking good. According to this Fox News Power Ranking, we've got 186 Democrats that are considered winners. And we've got 223 Republicans. That means we've got 26 seats that are toss-up seats. But you know what I'm hearing, Chairman? I'm hearing that that's going to be even worse for the Democrats than what Fox News is predicting. I'm hearing that those seats, it's going to be a slaughter out there. It's going to be bad for them. And, you know, I'm not going to be unhappy about it.
Well, I'm not either. And I think you're correct. And let me say this, Charlotte, I think, your years at FedEx in the corporate world pertains to leadership. You know, we need leadership. You know, sometimes that's not a D or R situation. It's just an effective leadership situation. We want people that can lead. We want people who can drive revenue. We want people to understand that we need jobs, but we also need an educated, viable workforce. And so I read an article a few years ago that said that 5.9 million young adults, this is across America, okay? 5.9 million young adults between the ages of 16 and 24 do not work, do not go to school. They do nothing. And if that's true, then we have a future that will be in disarray because we're not grooming and developing that next generation of workers. Now, you understand that as a corporate lady and as a corporate leader, and I think you can transition that into the office of Congress, and that's what we're looking for. I heard Fred Smith say the other day on Fox News, it was a great interview. He said, when you make work optional, the economy will stagnate. And he said, it's not a supply chain problem. He said, I can't find workers to unload planes. If I had workers to unload planes, we wouldn't have a supply chain problem. So my point to all that is, we need people in elected offices that understand jobs, talent, education, right? When we read to third graders, yes, it increases the graduation rates, but it keeps people off the street. And that impacts and dilutes crime. It also feeds into poverty and healthcare. My point to all that is there's one common thread through all of that, and that is the right leadership. So when we go and vote in the next couple of days, when we go and vote on Tuesday, we are voting for leadership. Leadership. There's been a void there, and we can make that change.
Absolutely. And I just want to share what Marty Miller has said. She says she sure do hope that there is a red wave, and we all do. That she's guessing it would be a first for Shelby County. Let's make it a first for Shelby County. She also said we need the House and Senate, and we do. Now, I want to share it with you guys because my team and I, the Red Hat Brigade, has been at the polls pretty much every day. And Chairman, I don't know, there appears to be a lot of people that like you, but we've got a full house that is listening to you now. So I went and looked at the numbers in Shelby County. Early voting started on October the 19th. And as of October the 29th, that's 10 days in, correct? Am I correct? 10 days
Correct.
in, pretty much, give or take. There had been 68,098 people to vote. That was as of Saturday. 68,098 people. That was just in Shelby County. But see, Chairman, we also have Tiffany County, which has been added to the equation. So there has been a total combined of, well, from Tipton County, there have been 5,148 as of September. But here's what we have. Combined 68,000 to that 5,000, we're sitting right at 73,000 voters, 73,246. As of Saturday, there had been 490,080 people to have voted compared to people who had voted in August. We are 49,000 people ahead who have voted, who had voted. So we're talking about in August, I think, doing early voting, there were 73,246, if I have my numbers correct. No, that's the total that has voted already. But as of in early voting, here's the correct number. In early voting, as of the equivalency of this past Saturday, there had been 498 different ahead, difference of 24,000 voters. 24,000 votes that people are getting now. So that's what backs up what you were talking about. People are enthused about this. Very enthused.
Well, they're enthused.
And
they're enthused, and I think the best thing we can do at night, and the best thing we can do on Saturdays, is, text everybody that's in our contact info, email everybody that you have in the inbox, and ask them to take about 10 minutes and go vote. I mean, that's how we produce change. And don't get me wrong, hey, donations, we have to cover the cost of running campaigns. I understand that. Volunteers, nothing beats the heart of a volunteer. But we have to go inside and vote and use the fact that we have the machines this year that have the validation receipt, so you can double check it. You can line everything up and make sure you're casting the right vote, and you're casting a vote for people like Charlotte Bergman, District 9.
I'd like to have my audience to know that the Republican Party itself is doing quite a number of things, and there are a number of activities that are occurring. And I want you guys to know some of those things that are occurring. For instance, some of the events that are occurring tomorrow, the RWAP, which is a Republican Party group, are meeting. And also there is a CEC meeting, which is meeting in 2 days, 11/3/2022. And then, of course, election day is 11/8. And then we have another Shelby County Republican Women's Club meeting that is being held on that day. So the Republican Party is inviting you to join us for the special November CEC meeting. Well, that's going to be hosted at our second Vice President Nasser Falula. Is that correct?
That's correct.
At 1950 Code. Join us. Show that you are supportive of what the Republican Party is doing. Show that you are out there helping to fight us to win this election. Don't stay home and throw your shoe at the television and think that's going to make a change. Get out, go to the polls and vote. And these are exciting times, and God is blessing us because the weather is nice.
Well, Charlotte, let me say this. Thursday night, what we didn't want to do is just have another meeting to meet, right? We see the synergy. We see that we're going to be victorious next week. And so we wanted to utilize Thursday night as hey, let's come together as a party. Let's come together as a family, as a unit, and let's feed off that synergy and energy as we go into November 8th. So make plans to be there, and make plans to let's finish well in November, and let's finish well for 2022.
Thank you so much. And I just want to sort of share with my audience several of the reasons, or some of the reasons why people are coming out and they're voting Republican, because I heard Todd Starnes say that there are more African Americans, there are more Latinos that are getting out and voting Republican. So what do the Democrats have going for them? Who is their speaker? Let's look at what this guy is doing. And I want to play this because yesterday I was at ATOP. I was at ATOP and I was talking to people, and one guy drove up and he said, why are they blaming Joe Biden for the problem with the gas? And it occurred to me that our media is highly responsible for keeping people in the dark. So on my show, I just like to help people to understand who is responsible for driving more and more Democrats to the Republican Party. So let's listen to what she has to say. Just give me a second and let me get this started.
It's now time to check in with the fearless, bold, razor-sharp leader of the free world, the 46th President of the United States, Joe Robinette Biden. Let's listen to his response when asked about Title 42 in relation to illegal immigration.
President, on Title 42, sir, are you considering delaying lifting Title 42?
No, what I'm considering is continuing to hear from my well, first of all, there's going to be an appeal by the Justice Department, because as a matter of principle, we want to be able to be in a position where if in fact it is strongly concluded by the scientists that we need Title 42, that we be able to do that. But there has been no decision on extending Title 42.
That is just incredible. To be clear, he was asked about Title 42, which is a Trump-era policy that allows the US to quickly expel migrants to their country of origin when they've crossed the border illegally. Biden's answer there was about the appeal on mask mandates on planes, but he also mentioned Title 42. This is what he said, word for word. He said, "No, what I'm considering is continuing to hear from my first of all, there's going to be an appeal by the Justice Department, because as a matter of principle, we want to be able to be in a position where if in fact it is strongly concluded by the scientists that we need Title 42, that we'd be able to do that. But there has been no decision on extending Title 42. And this isn't just misspeaking or a stutter. The man has no clue what he is talking about. Now, let's not forget, the media wanted to ship Trump off to the...
Okay, that's enough of that. We all know Joe Biden and what he's not able to do. He's not able to protect this country. We've got a war, a scare that is occurring. We've got Russia. We've got the Middle East and China, Russia, Ukraine. All of those countries are beginning to get dangerous. And what do we have? We have a bumbler in chief, okay? So people understand this. People understand that we could be bombed very soon because Biden is currently sending troops to start something, to poke the bear. What do you say about that? Do you think that could be why people are coming out and voting? Or do you think people aren't aware that things are getting dangerously heated up?
Oh, I think people are aware, Charlotte. I do. I think people, look, you know, Democrats, and I know Democrats who are friends, and they line up with pro-life. And some of them line up with pro-traditional marriage and pro-business and pro-God. They line up with those things. It's the old blue dog Democrat, right? And they have often said, hey, we agree with the core competencies of the Republican Party, and we've got to figure out a way to bring them over. We got to figure out a way to engage them, because they look at videos just like that and they walk away saying there is a lack of leadership in the Oval Office. It has nothing to do with party. We have a watchdog asleep. He is non-functional. He is non-productive. And it doesn't take Einstein to realize that. And people walk away saying, man, we're in shambles as a country. And more than that, we don't have the ability that we used to have with sister countries. And we don't feel safe at night. Can I say this? People want the right leaders, and it matters who governs. And it matters who we vote at the box to get in there to drive change. No, they look at Joe Biden and they say, we have no leader at all. We have zero leadership. And that, to me, is the theme of this election.
Xi, as well as Putin, as well as the leader in India, none of them respects this guy. So if they don't respect him, they do not respect us, and they would try us. And it's getting scary. It is getting scary.
Well, if I were a leader of another country, you know what I would do? There's an old saying that says, when your opponent is messing up, don't interrupt him. And so if I was a leader of another country, I would never interrupt Joe Biden. He would be their best player. And so I think as Americans, we have to decide, are we going to stand for this lack of leadership, or are we ready to turn over the House, to turn over the Senate, to get the right people in office from a regional standpoint, to get the right people in office from a local standpoint, and let's drive change, and let's have the America that we grew up with, right? That's what we're ready to get back. And I hope people have the fire in the belly. I hope they're mad, and I hope they're aggravated and frustrated, and it drives them to the polls in the next 2 days.
And I'm going to present this. This is a voter's guide, and I just want to share with people who our selected endorsed candidates are. And this is worth sharing with my audience. So when you go there, make no mistake, you vote for the right people. You vote for the people who are actually going to change our community, who are going to be the leaders that we need. And Chairman, I want you to tell me which of these candidates you do not support. Yes, which of the candidates you do not support, which have been endorsed, okay, by the Tennessee Voters Guide. I'm not sure if you can see that. Can you see that? Tennessee, Shelby County, City of Memphis Municipal Court Judge William Bill Larsa Jr. has been endorsed. Do you support him, or do you know him?
I do not know him. I do not.
Okay. Tennessee, Shelby County Governor of Tennessee primary election, Bill Lee, has been endorsed. That's what it says. Tennessee, Shelby County Governor of Tennessee primary election, Bill Lee, Republican incumbent, endorsed. Tennessee,
100%, right?
Right.
Bill has led with integrity, and he just really landed the biggest economic development deal in the history of the state.
Yes, absolutely. Then we got Shelby County U.S. House District 8 primary, District 8, the general election, David Kustoff, Republican, has been endorsed. So y'all go out and vote for David, those of you that are in the 8th district.
You know, David's new footprint is, I tell people often, is from Paris to Pickwick. He has 20 counties. And if you think about it, Charlotte, he has roughly 1/3 of the state. With 95 counties, he's close to 1/3 of the state as a district. So he, from Paris to Pickwick, he's making a difference as a great leader.
That's a lot of campaigning, but that's helping us to remain a great state. Charlotte Bergman has been endorsed for Tennessee District 9. Then we go on down to District 31, State Senate. Brent Taylor, Republican, endorsed.
Very good. Business leader, understands how to meet a payroll. It goes back to that term leadership.
Perfect. And then we have Shelby County State Senate District 33, Frederick D. Tappan, Republican, has been endorsed.
Yes. Pastor Tappan, as you know, has worked very hard. Started
Absolutely.
2 years ago, laying the tracks. Has done a great job here recently of raising funds locally and across the state to help in this campaign. I've been very proud of his progress.
I have too, and I would like to say I'm a Christian, so what I'm going to say is this. When we as Christians are doing the right thing, Satan has to stick his ugly head into the mix. And as I understand, Pastor Tappan's wife's vehicle was stolen. This is a man that is fighting to help us to stop being vandalized, to stop the violence, and then somebody chose to attack him and steal his vehicle. But he's going to lose.
Mercy.
All right. We've got Tennessee House District 83, Mark White, Republican. No competition.
No opposition.
He automatically win. We've got, well, on the Democrat side, Joe Towns, Democrat, for District 84, District 85. None of these are endorsed, so maybe I can pass them by. Another endorsee is Kevin Vaughn, Republican, District 95. That's Tennessee House, District 95. That's if you're in Collierville and parts of Germantown. Is that correct, Chairman?
That's correct. It used to be the old Curry Todd district, and Kevin has stepped in, has done a great job as our leader, and has been a strong voice up on the Hill. Again, it goes back to that topic. effective leadership, effective leadership. You know, Tennessee's in good hands with all of these officials.
Thank you so much for that, Chairman. And then we've got Tennessee House District 97, John Gillespie, Republican. He has been endorsed.
John has a condition called gung ho, and they're trying to work on it. He is gung ho. He is very tenacious. I've never seen a young leader over the last couple of years just step in the gap and has really taken charge and has really been a strong, phenomenal asset for Nashville and for District 97. So yes, on John Gillespie.
Perfect. And the last one I'm going to discuss, because there are alderman races and mayoral races and local races that have been endorsed, but I'm not going to get in the mix of those because they are nonpartisan races. But the last one is Tom Leatherwood, Republican, for District 99, Tennessee House.
Tennessee House, and he has no opposition. And Tom is actually my personal state rep. I live in District 99. And so yes on Tom Leatherwood. So think about that. You know, Tom Leatherwood, Mark White, Kevin Vaughn, John Gillespie, Brent Taylor, Pastor Tappan, Charlotte Bergman, David Kustoff, Congressman Kustoff. What a slate of great leaders. They're just waiting on one thing, our vote.
So guys, we need you to get out there to vote. Chairman, this has been a great interview. And you're like a daddy hen. You know your children. Like you covering us and protecting us, and thank you for that. So,
Well,
again, we want to mention the event, if that's okay, at, let's see, on November the 3rd.
correct.
You want to elaborate a little bit more on that again?
Yeah, starts at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Charlotte gave you the flyer. You see the address there. It's strictly fellowship. It's a great time. You will hear from the candidates. So the only housekeeping, we're going to let the candidates speak. We're going to have a great time. We're going to get focused on November 8th. Come be a part of that. 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock this Thursday night, November the 3rd.
Chairman, as of Saturday, we were 24,000 people. 24,000 people had cast their votes by this past Saturday. You can imagine what has been transpiring since then. On Monday, as a matter of fact, I've got a couple of people who are sort of stumping for me in the Whitehaven area, and the turnout is not that great. As a matter of fact, as of yesterday, I got the message that only 146 people had voted at Riverside Church. There are only have been about 300 or some odd people who have voted at Abundant Grace. Okay, in years past, there have been thousands of people to vote on one day. So what that says is the interest, unless they change and they come out and vote these last few days, sounds like there's not that much of an interest. And with a leader like Joe Biden, I can understand why people are not as interested. So,
well, I'll end with this, and this is kind of my last statement, my last word. I think people, we get comfortable. We get very comfortable. We get very relaxed. We sit back in the suburbs or our communities, and we say, you know, the city hall is good. All the amenities are good. The municipal schools are good. Life is good. I don't need to vote. But that's false. That's false. If we don't vote, what we're saying is we're allowing our city, our community, our county go to hell in a handbasket. We have to step up, step in the gap, and say, I will cast that vote, because it matters who governs and it matters who we put in office. And I'm going to tell you, from a state and Fed standpoint, it definitely matters. And so this is our time. We've got 1 week basically. We've got 1 week to maximize all of this and to finish well.
And we will do it. We will win. This is what I know. I have not been in my prayer closet for nothing. We will win because God has not turned his back on our community. There have been too
I agree.
many. And
my prayer is that God will give us favor in all of this. We need, we plant and water, and we do a good job of planting and watering, but God has to give the increase. And so my prayer is that God will provide and give the abundant increase.
Thank you so much, Chairman.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Our Chairman, Cary Vaughn. Cary, I'm going to ask you another question. How can people reach you? When can they go by headquarters if they want to show interest? How can they reach you?
Headquarters this week, 7171 North Germantown Parkway there at Trinity Commons. So stop in, pick up some signs. If you want to reach me, Cary at ShelbyGOP.org. Cary at ShelbyGOP.org. Let's go vote. Let's make it happen.
And that's Cary, C-A-R-Y. Don't skip
C-A-R-Y. That's right.
All right. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Congressman. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Thank you. All right, guys. You heard the chairman. Go vote. I have one more video that I want to show you of Joe Biden. This is the guy who is leading us now. And I'll tell you what, it is a total embarrassment. The video that I showed you earlier was from Australia. They're laughing at us. We do not need that. So give me a second. Let me pull this video up because I think it's imperative that it is in this video. Joe Biden is an embarrassment and people need to know it. And I'll tell you what, we've got a mainstream media who does not do justice to the people in our community because they do not let the people in the community know what is going on. But when we send them the message that we have defeated and taken our country back from those who do not mean us well, they'll get the message.
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a...
Why are you waiting on page 2 for a loser?
I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal. And I'm going to turn it over to the guy who I asked to come out of retirement, not retirement, but come in. I want to thank all of our distinguished guests that are here today, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, the secretary of the Secretary Austin. Last week, President Harris and I, but all kidding aside, of course, President Harris, that when they leave the saloon, receptionist, the salon.
There goes your leader. Leader of the free world. Oops, don't sleep. You have the chance. Hey guys, we can do better than this, but it's going to take us getting out to vote, just as the chairman said. So the next time I talk with you guys, it's going to be a couple of days before November the 8th. Our next show is next Tuesday at noon. Join me. Ask your friends to join me. And I just want to say, I didn't take up time from the chairman to let you know, we got people who are at the polls and they are feeling really good about what they're seeing. And actually, I went to ATOP and I feel really good about some of the people that I'd spoken to my dismay. And as sad as things are, many people do not get the benefit of knowing what's really going on. And that was the reason I wanted people to see in my video about Joe Biden. The liberal media does a good job of covering for him, and people need to know the truth. So you guys have a good time. Enjoy this weather. I think if I looked at the weather report, by the time November 8th arrives, it's going to be pretty cold. So enjoy these days. And thank you. And I love you all. And I thank you for what you're doing. And when this show ends, please pick up the phone and call at least 4 people, and ask them to get out to vote. So you guys take care. I'll talk to you next Tuesday. Bye.